Welcome to the Gary Abbott Budget Watch Reviews. I have another watch for you. This one I recently picked up. This was kind of a funny purchase in the sense that you all know that I have loved the Citizen Orange EcoDrive. I'll show it right here. It was my only, and I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. Okay, so here is the Citizen watch, and a lot of people commented in the comments of my review of this watch and looking at it a year later that they have a blue version. Well, I got a blue version, but it's really different than the orange version. It really is different. So let's talk about this watch. What I like, what I dislike. Let's just see if we go through this and survive the differences. You know, I didn't recognize the differences online as much. I thought, oh, I'm just getting a blue one of the one I love. It's not the same. But let's talk about it. So this is a Citizen EcoDrive. It is model number BN 191-55L. I'll put it up on the screen. Let's talk about the differences of this EcoDrive diver watch. They are both 200-meter water resistance. And let me zoom in a little bit closer. I think you really got to look at the dial here. Let me just see if I can focus a little clearer. The bezel is not the same. If you look around the edges, it is got the ridge marks equal, where the orange dial, it's got like separation with a chunk and it's different. And look at the inserted bezel is different. See the dots? And on this one, it's kind of got a silver ring with the dots. With larger dots at it is just so much different. I even think this one has somewhat of like the round compressor, where this one, because of the bracelet, you can see this end difference. It just appears a lot different. And the other major factor, and you've got to know this blue dive watch is 45 millimeter. So diameter wise, it's a much bigger watch. Because of the placement of the crown guards, it's very hard to see, but this says 44.9. But see how the crown guards are? It definitely gets in the way of this. So let's take a even closer look at it, because I'm sure some of you are going, I couldn't live with the orange. The orange has definitely a different look. This has a much more standard dive watch look. Screw down crown, the guards, the bezel looks different. It's got this nice silver rim around, and it's got the date window instead of the other one was placed at the 4 o'clock. No, wait a minute. Yeah, the 4 o'clock marker. The date window here is at the 3 o'clock. Now, some have asked me to hold the watch steady so they get a better look. Let's talk about thickness while we're at it. Thickness. It's giving me a 12 thickness. Yeah, where the orange one was 11.5. But for some reason, it looks much thicker, but it's not. It's not as thick as you think it is, and I don't know if it's because of the bracelet. It's 52.9, how it stands out. So it's a pretty big watch. It is a pretty big watch. Let me put this on the wrist. There it is on the wrist. The actual clasp isn't too bad. The band is flashy, and I'll talk more about the band. But the indices are well done. I will put up in the corner here a loom shot when I get that done, and take a look at how the loom is on this. But a Citizen Dive Watch Blue, the bezel is blue. It's a much dressier dive watch. Now I don't know how the band's going to hold up, and I guess this is what I want to talk about on the band. Some of the other comments have talked about it. There's the case back. You know, it's your EcoDrive E168. But let's talk about the band. It's really the pins. I had to adjust it. I ended up taking out 2 links. Both pins would not go back in and hold the watch. They would fall out. I had to use some other pins that I had, and it took a lot of work. And then the micro adjustment only has 3. Total pain. Total pain. I had left some stickers on back here, so sorry for that. I was looking to see, there's no dive adjustment on this. Kind of disappointed in that. Diamond tester, but as you can see, and pretty much known to citizens, they don't do sapphire crystals on most of their watches. Not a thing. So again, mineral crystal. So the case of being a 45. Yeah, it's, when I look at it, it is a sharp watch. Now, depending on what you want to pay for this, Black Friday sales, you can get it as low as probably $230. It's pretty much what a Citizen EcoDrive dive watch can get you. It does come with comes in the tank. But I really was disappointed in the band. The difficulties with the band and those pins. The problems with it. I'm kind of worried now that my pins will just come flopping out. And the so few micro adjustments, I can't really seem to get it to the right length for my 8-inch wrist. It does come with, it is big enough for if you have an 8-inch wrist that it won't be tight or you won't be begging for additional links. So my overall of this is, it's a nice looking watch. It really is. So I ended this video because, you know, in anybody's collection, you start to look at watches and they all start to be like, I know there's a couple of things for me that I favor. I like orange watches. Not that many, but I like orange. I like a lot more blue watches. Blue over black, blue over just plain white. I like blue watches. So how does this rate against other blue watches? Is how does it stack up against my other dive blue watches? How would I grade this among all of my other dive watches? Where would I put this one? Well, I was thinking of making a separate video, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to do it right here. Let me put in order these watches. Okay, so this is much tougher than I thought it was going to be. I think this Pagani design because of the cloudiness of the dial, it's hard to read. It does have a date window. It's more of the James Bond style, but I'm going to call that last. Then the only issue with this blue dial is that the bezel is not blue, so it's not all in. And again, the Pagani design, I don't know why sometimes they just either don't use coating on their glass. I would say that is next. If I rank, I would say this Rolls Timmy. The only thing I don't like about it, no date. No date window. I'm a fan of date windows. This one, though, is clearer than the others. Then we're going to go next. I am going to say the Orient. Now, the Orient wins over the Citizen because of the automatic. Well, it wins, it beats it in these specific areas. It's a day date. It actually has a pretty good bracelet, but you can already see that it gets marred up. And for some reason, it just never makes it all that much onto my wrist. It does have a better bracelet, but it is scratching up. Actually, the bracelet has somewhat similar, but I'm going to rank that number 4 out of my blue watches. The Citizen, I'm going to say, is my second favorite when it comes to blue. When it comes to my blue watches, and my favorite of all time, favorite dive blue watch, is the Tissot. And it is interesting that the 2 larger watches are my top watches. So yes, you can get some pretty good deals. I mean, price point wise, these are probably, price wise, in price order. I bet you this is the cheapest watch you can buy. This is the most expensive on this table right at the moment. So there it is. There's my order. That probably tells you more with me just saying this watch, I like it. That doesn't tell you the true picture. But when I tell you out of the watches I own, it's number 2. But I can't beat this. But the Tissot is twice as expensive as this. So there's a big difference here. This one costs more, but I just like it so much better. And I think also I'm becoming this one has the indices and everything just kind of work on the Citizens. Going on a little bit, but I think I may have helped you if you were looking for a watch and you can pick this up for $230, you may want to do it. Thanks for watching. For those of you, happy holidays as it's coming around. I've got a special watch coming. It's not a dive watch. So click on the notification bell and subscribe to see probably my most unique watch yet. Thanks for watching.